What's up, everybody? Well, welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris and this is the Christopher Scott channel. And what we like to do around here is keep fish, reptiles, and all kinds of things. So if you're new, thank you for checking us out. And if you've been around for a while, well, hey, welcome back. So real quick, if you have not visited thecsbrand.com and put in your email address, make sure you go do that. I'm going to pick one random winner for a piece of merchandise prior to the launch. And this will be one of your last opportunities to enter, so make sure you go and enter. Also, we have a P.O. box if you'd like to send us anything in the mail, and you can see that right here as well as in the description of every video. But with that, what we're going to be focused on today is this tank that's actually right behind the camera. First thing we want to talk about is this. We have this Madagascar lace bulb right here, and this thing is actually sprouted out above the tank and it has bloomed. I'm not really sure what's going to happen with that bloom. I don't know if anything else is going to happen, but if you happen to keep Madagascar lace bulbs, make sure you let me know. But this tank is looking fantastic. It is fully cycled. It is fully ready for fish. Everything is good to go. I actually need to add some nutrients because if you notice, I got some browning on that lace bulb, and then I got some browning on that bulb right there as well. So we're going to go ahead and dose this tank with some plant nutrients. So with that, we also want to go ahead and stock this tank because it is in fact ready for fish. This thing has been cycling for quite some time, a few weeks now actually, with no fish in it. So it's time to put some fish in here. I asked you guys in the last video when I scaped this thing what you think we should put in here, and I got all kinds of responses. We got everything from gourami to tetras to angelfish. I believe somebody commented a beluga whale. I'm not exactly sure how we're going to put a beluga whale in there, but I can guarantee you that is not what is going in this tank today. But we are going to be picking a few different fish from the comments of that video to put into this tank today. Now, if you have not watched the video where I scaped this tank, you can click this link right up here and you can go back and watch that, but go do that after this video and see how I put this thing together and laid it out and such. But for today, we're gonna head out, we're gonna pick up fish for this particular tank, and we're gonna make sure that we get this thing stocked with something you guys want to see. So with that, let's get out of here and get some fish. All right, guys, well, we're here at PetSmart and we are just looking. Just so you know, I'm not buying these fish here at PetSmart, but I am at least looking just to see what they have. Just to get an idea, you know, of what's gonna go into this fully scaped tank. So quite a few of you talked about gouramis, which I have actually never kept gouramis. And I think gouramis would be super cool. In fact, I'd love to try to breed gourami. Not sure if this setup really is inducive of breeding gourami, but gourami sound cool. And people talked about platies and mollies, which we love live bearers. Only problem is with live bearers is this particular tank was a converted saltwater tank, so it has overflows into the sump filtration, which means that it would suck the fry down into it, but we could probably prevent that in some way, so live bearers may be an option. There's some blue ram cichlids, which are super pretty. They actually kind of look like our Apistogramma cockatoides, don't they? A little bit? Yeah. They're super cool, super colorful, really, really good looking fish. And they're quite peaceful, so they can go into a community tank. Unlike Oscar cichlids, which says here that they're communal, I don't believe that because Oscars are pretty territorial and pretty aggressive and will eat everything in their path. We have angelfish, which, did you know that angelfish are cichlids?
No.
Sure are. Oh, there's some corydoras down there. You definitely recommended corydoras. And more platies and mollies. We have some rasboras, a bunch of neon tetras, which we also love. We definitely love neon tetras, right? I mean, there's all different kinds of options. So after looking at all these fish, I think Max and I have formulated a plan on what we're gonna get, right? Okay, so now what we need to do is go ahead and place our order and head over to our local fish store and pick those up. Ready to go? All right, before we actually get into putting these fish in here, I wanna go ahead and treat this water with some nutrition for these plants. And what we're gonna be using is some API CO2 booster to start with. And next we're gonna go ahead and treat it with some API Leaf Zone. Now, as far as fish for this tank, we have a whole box of fish and plants here. Now, the plants are obviously not going in that tank. They're for a future video. And then we have also two types of fish for another future video. But we're going to go through exactly what's going in here. And at the very end, I will talk about who won the giveaway. Now we will talk about the plants that we picked up. So to start, we got some golden Nasea, which is very, very pretty plant. Bright green leaves with a pink or red stem. Fantastic plant. In fact, the tank we're putting fish in today has golden Nasea in it. We have some more broadleaf Ludwigia, which I absolutely love. We have a couple of Anubias Barteri and a couple of Kleiner bar swords. So we're gonna go ahead and put those in a planted tank here in just a minute. Okay, so let's talk about what fish we got today. I picked 3 types of fish in the comments, and I didn't pick the exact specific species of fish or coloration of fish that maybe were chosen, but we're gonna go through each one of these. We're keeping an Asian style theme with the tank as far as fish goes. They all originate from somewhere in Asia. And let's start with a couple of the smaller, I don't wanna say like dither fish, like top swimmer, mid swimmer fish. And the first one we have here is going to be Brilliant Rasboras. Brilliant Rasboras, these are kind of cool. So we're gonna drop these into the tank to float these. Now for our second type of fish, we went with some Pearl Danios. Pearl Danios. So we're gonna go ahead and float this bag as well. And finally, the showcase fish in this tank is something I've actually never kept before. However, there were a lot of comments for this particular type of fish. So, gourami. These particular gourami are flame gourami. So we're gonna go ahead and float these as well. Well, before we get these fish in here, let's go ahead and drop these plants into a tank. And I'm not gonna actually plant these, I just wanna drop them in there. These plants are actually gonna go into an actual tank very, very soon. So we're gonna drop this broadleaf Ludwigia right in here with these guppies. Such a nice plant. I really, really like the broadleaf Ludwigia. I'm gonna go ahead and drop this golden Nasea in here as well, which there's some left in here from the last time we got this, but that's okay. This stuff is great. I love the golden Nasea. It's untied, unbundled from these leaves from this lace bulb. Those down in there. Perfect. Move over to this tank here. Picked us up a couple of Kleiner bar swords, which are fantastic. I'm just gonna float those in there for right now. Like I said, this stuff's not gonna stay in here very long. I'll actually be scaping the tank that these plants will be going into very soon. And then we got a couple of round leaf Anubias Barteri, and we'll just float those in there as well. All right, guys. Well, what I've been doing is acclimating these, and I'm actually not just float acclimating them, which only temperature acclimate them. I've actually started to acclimate them to the water by pulling some of this water into this bag to get these guys nice and acclimated. As of right now, they are completely acclimated, and we're gonna start by putting these Brilliant Rasboras into this tank. So let's get all these fish in here. Alright guys, well I am super happy with the fish choices here. So we've got these flame gouramis, which look absolutely amazing. We have some Pearl Danios as well as some Brilliant Rasboras in here. I was going to put the July Cory in here, but I decided against that actually, and I put Otocinclus catfish, but I'm not giving merchandise away for the Otos because it was a change after the fact. But there are winners for the other 3 types of fish, and we're gonna talk about that in just a minute. But this tank looks absolutely amazing. The plant growth is fantastic. I've been treating this with some nutrients for our plants, and the plant growth is just looking absolutely amazing. This tank really turned out to be something. I really, really like the way this tank looks. And not ever keeping gourami before, I have to say that I quite like the gourami. They're very personable and will actually come up to you and eat out of your hand and all kinds of things. So that's really kind of cool, but really do love the gourami. Such a great choice. So for everybody else that commented, thank you so much for commenting gouramis, because I am truly grateful for that. I really, really like the personality of these gouramis. Super cool fish. So guys, I have a question. In these tanks right here, we have a lot of different plants, right? We have some broadleaf Ludwigia, we have a Madagascar lace plant, which is a bulb. You can see this golden Nisea is growing out of the water here. We have Amazon swords. We have dwarf aquarium lilies, jungle valve, things like that. All of my planted tanks are full of different plants, obviously. So, would you guys like the opportunity to be able to purchase plants on my website? And it'll be everything from small little Anubias nanas to some Amazon swords, some Java fern, all of the bulbs, the Christmas moss even. Everything that you've seen go into my tanks, you'd be able to purchase directly from my website. So if you'd be interested in purchasing plants from my website, please leave a comment below and let me know what you think, because I'm trying to do a little market research and see if people would actually be interested in purchasing plants. I have a supplier for aquatic plants, and I think that I can offer high quality plants for a low cost that may be able to help you guys out in learning how to aquascape and things like that. So make sure you comment below and let me know what you think about possibly buying plants from me. All right, well, let's look at this other tank. Now, before we get out of here, I'd like to come back to this tank real quick. If you did not watch the last video where we stocked this, you should definitely go back and watch this video. This is one of my favorite tanks ever. Now, granted, I did not build this tank in the last video, but there is a video on my channel of where I built this thing. We just rescaped the bottom of it, added some leaf litter, things like that. But definitely go back. Oh my gosh, and look at that. We already got baby guppies in here. Look at that little guppy fry right there. Good for you. Who knows which one gave birth, because none of them look like they were pregnant, so who knows where that thing came from. And there's only one in here. Maybe it resurrected from the tank before. I don't know, I'm just kidding. But make sure you go back and watch this video, because this thing is amazing and I appreciate the support of you guys watching the video. So with that, hopefully you went on to enjoy this video, and hopefully you enjoy these new flame dwarf gouramis, as well as the pearl danios and our little brilliant rasboras. Make sure you comment below, let me know what you think about possibly purchasing plants from the csbrand.com. If I get enough interest, I'm gonna go ahead and start listing plants for sale on the website. I will let you know more details later on, depending on what you guys think. So let me know down below. But with that, thank you so much, guys, for all of the support. Thank you for all the likes. And if you haven't liked this video, go ahead and like it now. I appreciate it. Thank you for everything. Now, I want to announce the winners. In the last video, when I scaped this tank, I said I would give a piece of merchandise to anybody that could correctly guess the fish first. Well, nobody correctly guessed flame gourami or pearl danio or brilliant rasboras. So what I decided to do is just pick the first people that picked that specific species of fish. And in fact, the first person that picked actually picked gourami and rasbora in the same comment. So here's your comment right here. Make sure you contact me via Instagram DM or email at chris@thecsbrand.com, and I will give you instructions on how to claim your merchandise. Now, as far as the danios go, this person right here picked. Make sure you contact me via DM on Instagram or an email at chris@thecsbrand.com as well, and I'll make sure I get you info on how to claim your prize. I'm going to continue to do these merchandise giveaways quite often, guys. TheCSBrand.com will be launching very soon, probably within the next 2 videos, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Make sure you go follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Links to both are in the description below. Make sure that you subscribe and turn on your notification bell if you haven't done that already. And with that, well, it's a nice sunny day here in Texas. The doors are off the Jeep. It's like 75 degrees. So I'm gonna get out of here. You guys go out, enjoy some sunshine, get outside, do something in nature today, and make sure you're ready to tell me about it in the comments of the next video. And with that, we will see you next time.